This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. We'll take a look at the old indexes here, which are, I don't know, pretty flat overall today. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock about ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we go. We have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart here. All right, you can see here how we still have this box a little bit higher there today. We were looking for the top of that candle at 121, 165, but we got a little bit higher today at 121, 255, so that's going to be the top of the box now, okay? Now, the bottom of the box is going to be right here at 115, 635, okay? So basically, let me just big that up there for you. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Okay, so basically what you're doing, you're just trading here. See this box right here? We just outline that bad boy, and that's pretty much what we are trading. Okay, so we got as high as at 121, 255 level. You notice that it just kind of spiked up, couldn't really hold it, and now we're hanging right around this 8-day at 118, 529. Now, if we lose that, next target's going to be here, 117.305 level. Then we come down to the bottom of this candle at 116.275. We come down to Friday's low at 115.675. But we're really looking here for the bottom to hold this gap. This is 115.635 level, okay? So far we're holding it. Your next level is going to be that 21-day, 114.718. And then we have 114.380 level. Okay, that's going to be your downside target. Now, that'll be your gap fill, okay? Now, if we lose that, we're going to come to the top of this candle, 112.590, and then we'll come to the bottom of this candle at 110.880, and we'll be looking for this 50-day at 109.988. But right now, the box is still trading very, very nicely. So if we can hold that 8-day at 118.537, then what we do, we just take it right on up here, okay? 119.78, that's your resistance. We come up 119.880. We'll come off the top of this candle here at 125.40. We're looking back at him at 121.65. And then we look over today's high at 121.225. Now, we get above that. Here we go. 123.615. That is going to be your breakout and your retest. Now, a lot of times here we see we have a topping tail there. And then we look at here on the weekly chart, we have a topping tail. So anytime you see these topping tail situation on both the daily and the weekly, you always get that sideways action. So never be afraid when you see this and it comes as happening. So you can always sell it. So you sell your position or even half a position into it, because we can always rebuy it as it comes down sideways. So right now what we have is this consolidation going on, like we had here, like we had also right there. And then we have a little bigger consolidation. Now we had this nice inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head and right shoulder. You take a little flip ski on that. It's 125.5. And that would be the target if you crack above this 123.615. Now, again, you can go up to 130, 135. Hell, you could go up to 150. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of they have projections on this at 250, 400, even like a million kind of a situation. But it's not going to go there all at once. It always goes there in level stages. Okay, so always remember that where it rallies on up here, then it takes a little consolidation, rallies up here, consolidation. Okay, but anytime Bitcoin is kind of way down here, that's a buying opportunity. A lot of people just love to trade this old Bitcoin, which is really, really good. Now, on these, if you have an account there that's less than 25 grand, you get like, I think it was 3-day trades or whatever. I don't know. My account's much bigger than that. But anyway, if it's less than 25 grand, that's what it becomes. But now they're looking at taking that maybe 25 grand down to only $2,000 into an account. Okay, so a lot of people will be trading, and where they're going to get into? They're going to get into this NVIDIA, the tech sector, and Bitcoin. Okay, so just remember that all that AI is going to be, that's going to be a long, good trade here for a long time. The same way with Bitcoin, but just don't expect everything at one shot. Okay, when you have a nice, good run up like this, and when these candlesticks are getting outside these price channels, always reel some in. When you see a topping tail like that, just get out some of your trade, and then we can go sideways. Now, I've been doing this for over 2 decades, probably 2.5 decades. So I really, notice that once we get into that topping tail, I get all out of position because I know I can rebuy it. Now, a really good trader for me is BITX. It's the 2x leverage. You can also go with IBIT, but there's many, many ways of trading the old Bitcoin. Okay. Now, what we're just watching, we're still trading this box situation. Okay, so that's all we're going to watch. Watch that 8-day on the downside. We lose that, we're going to come to that retest. Possibly the gap fill, and possibly that 21. The upside we want to watch obviously is today's high 121, and then we rally up again 123.615, and then we have to see what the reaction does. It blast through, Or does it just come like this situation where we had this nice big rally, came right on down, it looked like it was going to blast through, came lower low, and then came right down again. Okay, so never looked like, hey, oh, he's going to crack above it. A lot of times he'll crack above it and then close below it. The key is on a closing basis. Now, our side here looking very, very good. The green is sideways on the situation because we have that sideways action. Now, weekly chart here, very, very nice. Look at this, okay? Bottom left, upper right, can't beat this chart. It's awesome. It's totally bullish, okay? So right now, as long as we're holding this top of this candle, this is what we're looking for, 112.345, and we're looking for this 112.575, that 8-day. You can see how that's cracking right on up here. A 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, everything is rolling up to the nice side, upside. And now we can see here how we're just flattening right out here on your RSI, and your momentum is very, very strong. So when you look at this overall chart, it just doesn't get any better than what this is. Okay, so when I always say you watch them 8 days, you lose that. You go to the 21-day, you lose that. We watch that 50-day. And look how nice this has been holding. Okay, look at that. She's a beaut, Clark. Look at this here. See, beaut. Okay, all the way on up here. So you could have a good pullback. It still would be a really good buying opportunity for the Bitcoin. But never get too excited. We just have consolidation. I think this is going to go much, much higher by the end of the year. All right, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, we have gold now. Gold had a great run. Look at this chart here. See, bottom left, upper right, very, very nice, and still the very, very bullish chart. Okay, now, again, I say this many times. I'm not really what you call a big gold trader. However, when I see that upside going, I jump into GLD. The same way with the silver, I see the SLV. Okay, I jump right in there. Now, what we have here, you can see what we have here is a lower lows and lower high situation. There's nothing ever bullish about this. Okay, so we rallied up, and where did it go? Right into that 50-day, right into that 21-day, and it stopped it cold, and then it came right back down. So now we have like almost like an indecision candle. So what we're really watching on the upside is that 50-day, okay, that 21-day, and then we'll be looking here for this 8-day at that 33.71. Okay, now if we get above that, we come to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 33.90. We look to the top there, 34.01, and then we just follow the candles, 34.16, 34.47, and then 35.51. We get above that, we're going to come right to the top of there, 34.68, and then we have 34.76. Okay, that is going to be your upside. Now, downside here, we're just falling off a cliff here. So there's really nothing what you call about this is any kind of a bullish scenario. So what we're watching on the downside is today's low. You're looking at 3,300 flat. Now, next level, we're going to be right there, 32.90. Then we're going to come here at 33.41. And then we have your retest at 32.50 and your 100-day sitting at 32.55 right there. Now, this is not oversold by no means. This has plenty of room to go to the downside the same way with this. So always just be a little bit careful. For me, I have no trade going here until we get above this 8-day. Then I take that 8-day and then we'll work that back up to that 34.51. But right now, this is downtrending. So if you're doing a short ski, you are on the right track. Okay, now silver. Silver's actually looking a little better. We had a nice consolidation, bull flag, rallied right on up. Now, you can see here how nice it was holding that 8-day, and now that fell off. But look at this 21-day, and how kind of nice that it held it. And we're still holding it. Okay, very, very nice. Downside, watch that 37.87. If you lose that, yes, we have targets down here, but realistically, you're going to head to that 36.20. That's going to be the key. We lose that, 35.58. We lose that, 100-day, 34.62. And then we come down to the 200-day at 33.16. But respect the 21-day because of the past. Okay. Now, upside, well, we can look at today's high, 38.51. Realistically, we're looking for 38.90. You got to get back above that. That's going to be key. Then we go to Friday's high, 39.52, 39.66, retest 39.91. Crack above that, 40, 42, 50. Okay. Just very, 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 very easy. But chart is still very, very uptrending. Very, very nice. The same way with the gold here. Okay. See, uptrending shot. We just have a little bit of pullback. No big deal, just like you had here. Pullback. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, we had 3-day pullback, consolidated, and then she ripped right back up again. Okay, so just be a little bit patient with this if you're trading on the old gold side. Okay, so just as it, but for me, I have no position. Right here, I have no position unless we close back above that 8-day, then I'll take it back to the retest. Okay, over here, if we get it back above the 8-day, then I'll jump into GLD and we take it up to the retest. All right, let's see what's going on with the crude ski and Natgas. Okay, here we have the old crude oil. Okay, now just remember on crude oil here, it's only today is the 28th. They'll be adding here on August 1st. OPEC will be adding 548,000 barrels a day, up from 411,000 barrels a day. And they don't know what they're going to do in September yet. They're going to have a meeting, and they'll see how that all going to shake out. Okay, so just always remember that. Now, oil looks like they're having a good day. We're moving up here, but realistically, all we did is hold this 100 SMA here. See this? Okay, see how strong that 100 was on the upside. Okay, once we got over it, then we came down, and now look how strong it is on the downside. Look how nice it held it. Held it, held it, held it, held it, and held it. Okay, nice. So you got to respect it. Now you can see here we're above the 50-day, we're above the 8-day, and we're above the 21-day. Today was a really good, nice trading day on the UCO. Okay, so I was long the UCO. Okay, and that's working very, very nice. Okay, now I'm still long on the UCO, and I'm gonna see what's going to be the reaction is at 6 o'clock tonight on the old futures when it reopens again. So you're going to be trading against today's candle. Okay, so always look at that candle, 67.06 on the high, 65.05 on the low. All right, so what we really have here is we need to hold that 21-day, okay, 66.62, right there, 66.05, and 65.76, and then we have the 100-day, 64.98, and then we have right there at 64.50, then 64 flat. That's your downside. All right, so you still have a bear flag situation going here. Okay, and even if you come all the way up to this top at 69.65, it's still a bear flag situation. Okay, so always just look at that. Now, we're getting a little bit of juice today because T-Man made a deal with the EU. Okay, so you're getting a little bit of juice here, and you're going to get a lot of things if you're buying the wine and all that kind of stuff. So they saved a big disaster. Okay, so always remember that. Okay, always pay attention to the news. That's why I like trading crude. I trade it every day. Some long or short. Simple reason, it's always in play. Now, on the upside, where we're watching is today's high, 67.06. We're going to be watching the top of this candle, 67.54. And then here's the big boy at 68.13. And we got to see what the reaction is. Look at here, how it went in. Okay, all this here, it just pretty much stopped it like a brick wall. Gets above it, 69.65. And all that is the top of that candle. That is your going to be upside. That's your recent high. Now, we get above that. We come to the bottom there, 71.33. We come to the bottom there, 72.32. Then we can look to the top of that candle, 73.90. Okay, 74.27, 75.74. We'll come up here, 77.49, 77.62, and then you retest at 78.40. But you got to get above that 200-day, and you have to get above this 69.65 in order to do that. But I like to show you where it can go. Downside, all you got to do is just watch that 21-day. Be very, very key. Watch that 8-day. Okay, and then watch that 50-day, and then watch that 100-day. Now remember, just because we have a green candle, one day does not make a market. So we got to see how this all going to shake out. But right now, this is just like I've already been pointing out, this is a trade. Okay, same way with this, the natural gas is a trade. This is not a buy and hold. This is a trading situation. Okay, so 51, plenty of room to run to the up or down. The green below your red. Okay, so right now, just trade this. All right, natty gas falling right off a cliff. Okay, so we lost this key 306 level. Okay, I was pointing out this gap. See that gap right there? At 305, it was holding it. Now, today, what do we made? We made a low at 298. You believe that shit? What is this gap, fella? I've been pointing out. 298. You believe that? Look at that, eh? Gap fill. Always, 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 always watch them gaps fill. See how we had a gap fill here, came down, and we filled it. See? So always watch. Right down to that 298. Okay. Now, if we keep on rolling down past that 298, you're gonna be looking right here at that. Well, he's got support. Look at the closing number. You got 296 level. Okay. We have a 293 level. Then we can come down here at 286, and then we have 285. That's going to be your downside of the situation. We are not oversold. This could go much lower. Same way with the MACD. Okay. Now, upside, you have to get right back where you were above that 306. Then we can follow the candles. Okay. We have 314. What do we have? You got 316. We look to the bottom here. You got 321. And then we start running into your 21-hour 8-day at 324. We have a look at 336. And then we look at that 50-day. Now, KLD, very, very nice trade today. Okay. Got as low as 29.68. And then as high as 31.71 here. So you got to reel it. Now, I didn't get the whole thing because I had trade and other things here. But I got 75 cents out of natural gas on scalping the downside. Okay, so during the week, Monday through Thursday, I trade 5,000 shares. So 75 cents times 5,000 shares, Nice, good trade on that. Okay, when it comes to Friday, I cut those shares down, 2,500, maybe 3,000, depends on what. But there's nothing here. Okay, there's really nothing what you call positive here until we get back above this 306 level and maybe head back to that 8-day. Okay, this is a waterfall. Look at the 8-day, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, complete waterfall to the downside. Okay, there's nothing bullish here. Nothing. Zero. Had a topping tail, came down, and then we put that downtrending situation in, rallied up, and then we put this tweezer top. See the tweezer top? Boom, 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 boom. And then down goes Freesia. All the way down, right down to 298 and filled that gap. Now, we could go lower, so let's just see how they. Now, I am out of the trade, KOLD, completely out. No trading there. I'm still long the UCO. I'm going to see what's going to happen with that, and then I'll watch these futures here at 6 p.m. and see what's going to happen with natural gas. Maybe sneak a little bit trade in, but we'll see how that all shakes out. Okay, let's take a look here now at the indexes. Okay, here we have the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ. Okay, now all the same. That's why when in the morning I show you the NQ, they're all the same. The futures are all the same way with this. Okay, pretty much all the same. Now, we do have negative divergence on the Dow. Okay, high, higher high, high, lower high. Okay, so just remember that. Now, downside here, we're watching that 8-day, we're going to watch that 21-day, and then we're going to watch the bottom of this candle. Okay, 43,758. We lose that, we'll come down to the price channel, 43,505, 50-day. Okay, and then 200-day at 42,847. And then we have the gap. Then we have the fill. Now, I showed you a perfect example on the natural gas about gaps and fills. Eventually, this is going to get filled. Okay, so always remember that. Eventually, that will get filled. Now, upside, well, we got to get right back above that 45,1671 level. Okay, so you can see here how we just kind of like consolidated sideways. Going to take something here to get crack that up. Now, yesterday, futures, when he signed the deal with the EU, looked pretty good. Now they're talking to China, so we got to see it could maybe take it right back up. Okay, but a lot of times, kind of overlooking the news. A lot of earnings this week. Okay, so just remember that. A lot of earnings. Okay, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, lot of earnings. Could be a market mover. Okay, so just remember that. Now, S&P, we'll get into this overbought condition up here, but again, we still have a melt up. 6401, we could go 64, you could go 6500, you could even go all the way up to 6700. Okay, but we have that melt up. But look at these candles. Okay, look at OPWE up here. They're like nothing. They're just going up. They don't have that big candle that we're doing on the rise. Okay, so watch that 6401 close above it. We could head toward that 6500, maybe even 6700 before it's all over. Now 6337, the 8-day, watch that 21-day, and then 50-day. Okay, and then we watch that gap and watch that fill. Okay, that gap right there, look at that, 60.59, and then right above that is 60.28. Gap, fill. Okay, and we come down to 200-day and 100-day. Okay, but right now we just ride the wave, but don't let it hit that shore because that's going to leave a mark. Okay, now NASDAQ, same thing. Just look at these nice big candles here, and then look at this. Look at PWE going all the way up here. Okay, this is just a V-shaped recovery, which is okay. Don't get me wrong. But again, trade this. Put the money in your pocket, just like I did with Tesla today. Now, Tesla, I bought in at 318. I sold that. It got as high as 330. I sold at 328. I got 10 points. Do I give a shit if it went up 2 more points? Not at all. Okay, I got the money and I got it in my pocket. It's not on paper. It's right in my pocket. Okay, so that's how you got to look at it. Okay, now do I think Tesla's worth $328? Hell no. I think it's a $30 stock, but that doesn't mean nothing. Okay, it's a meme stock. When you're a trader, you just have to go with it, okay? But it's a trading stock. That's one of my favorites, long and short, because it is a good trader. Now, there's a lot of good trades there today, okay? So NVIDIA was a good trade today. Bitcoin was a good trade there today. That was a good scalper. The crude oil long was a good scalper, and the natural gas short was a good scalper. So there was a lot of good trades today. So just got to find them out. But sell. Put the money in your pocket, okay? I didn't catch a bottom on Tesla. Tesla got all the way down to 315, 69. I got it at 318. Do I care if I got the bottom? No. Got as high as 330, 49. Do I care if I sell the top? Hell no. You got 10 points. That's the meat in the middle. That's what you put in your pocket, okay? Not on paper, right in your pocket. Green in the pocket. Something happens to Tesla, what do you care? We look tomorrow, we trade again. Just like that. Now, we're looking at the NASDAQ. 21,202. We could go 22,000. Easy. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is very, very not good. Okay, watch the downside, 20,997 right there, 20,691. Then we come right down here to your 50-day, 19,947. Then we have the bottom here, gap, 19,795, and then fill, okay, 19,643. Then we come down to your 200-day and come down to the 100-day. Now, eventually this is going to come off, and it's going to come off really, really hard. I can't see pouring money in to something like this, okay? So for me, this is just a trade situation, okay? Just a trading situation, which is working out very, very nicely. So watch those earnings this week, a lot of tech earnings. But again, if we could just like Google, okay? Google, great numbers, rallied all up to 197. Oh, Google has changed. Look where Google is now, 191. Okay, so a lot of times, remember, it's not the news that matters. It's that reaction to that news. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we're going to do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.